Welcome back to this YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to talk about top 10 most deadliest food in the world 2021. So before starting this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. There are a variety of the world's most dangerous foods that, if not cooked correctly, can have significant consequences and, in some cases, even result in death. You probably think of rare delicacies that most people would never come into touch with when you think of the world's most dangerous foods. While a Korean octopus that fights back when swallowed might suit the bill, some of the most dangerous foods are most likely in your refrigerator or pantry right now. Here's a list of top 10 most deadliest food in the world. Oh, let's start. Number 10. Kazu marzu. Casamarzu starts off as pecorino cheese, but when it's sliced open and left outside to become infested with larvae, it takes on a life of its own, literally. The flies arrive first and lay eggs in it, which hatch into larvae. As it turns out, happy larvae are those who can instantly begin feasting on delicious cheese. The cheese begins to decompose when the baby bugs eat it. This is exactly what we expect to happen, believe it or not. The next move is for people to consume the cheese. No, we aren't joking, they really do. They don't just eat the fly larvae, they even eat the squirmy white worms. But, as bad as it is, things are just going to get worse. Since the larvae aren't killed by consuming them. So, when you're digesting the rotten cheese they used to call home, they begin searching for a new home. Guess where they pick because they are inside you? It was strange enough when the larva went down your throat, but it's even stranger when they start boring through your intestinal walls. Number 9. Baby octopus. If you ever find yourself in Korea and want to live dangerously, order the sanachi. Don't be shocked if what's on your plate is already jumping about when it arrives. You've just placed an order for wriggling octopus, which is made from a really fresh baby octopus. It was so fresh that it was still alive when it was served to you. Make sure you chew thoroughly. Every year, a few people die from choking as a result of one of those wriggly octopus legs being stuck in their throat. Number 8. Cashews. Have you ever tried to pry a cashew from its shell? Cashews are never sold raw in the shell, so the response is probably no. Cashews contain anacardic acid, the same chemical irritant that makes poison ivy so unpleasant. The poison is found in the shell's oil, not in the nut itself. When it comes out of the shell, however, the nut is fully coated in the substance. Handling the shell of a raw nut can cause an allergic reaction. The nut is roasted to remove the acids in the shell oil, making it healthy to eat. However, it must be performed at a sufficiently high temperature, or traces can remain. Imagine a serious allergic reaction to poison ivy on the inside if you've ever seen a severe allergic reaction to poison ivy on someone's skin. Number 7. Blood clams. What makes you think you'd call anything a blood clam? Because, well, they bleed. While all clams bleed, the majority of them have clear blood, giving the appearance of thick water. Blood clams, on the other hand, have hemoglobin, but their blood is red like ours. Blood clams, like our blood, can bear blood-borne diseases like hepatitis, typhoid, and dysentery. This is due to the fact that they live in low oxygen conditions, which are conducive to the spread of viruses and bacteria. Blood clams filter 40 liters of seawater every day, and when the water is contaminated, as it is in most of China, the clams ingest dangerous bacteria and viruses such as hepatitis, typhoid, and dysentery. Number 6. Bullfrogs. Namibian is a country in Namibia. Bullfrogs are vicious animals. They're big, about the size of a housecat, vicious, and hungry. They're also toxic. The frog's prey is then held in its mouth by some sharp bits on its jaw. However, although they are good eaters, they are often considered good to eat in Namibia. But only when the time is right. You'll have to wait until mating season, which in that part of Africa is known as the third rain. When the bullfrog's skin and organs don't produce the toxin oshikitakata, which causes kidney failure, this occurs. If you're impatient and take one of these massive amphibians too soon, you may expect excruciatingly painful urination and possibly death. Number 5. Giant jellyfish. Once upon a time, the Akaizencourage, Nomura jellyfish, will pay Japan a visit every 40 years or so. However, they have recently been inundated with tens of thousands of these massive jellyfish each year. It's starting to become a concern. These aren't little jellyfish swimming around, they're 6-foot large, 500-pound behemoths. They are especially bothersome to fishermen because it is nearly impossible to drop a net without catching some, and because they are toxic, they sting any other fish caught in the net, rendering them all inedible. You can use them in a variety of foods if you cook them after removing the poisonous sections and cooking them to neutralize any remaining poison. Vanilla and jellyfish ice cream, as well as a sweet and salty caramel made of sugar, starch syrup, and jellyfish powder made by boiling jellyfish into a paste and grinding it into tiny particles, are common. This last one was produced by students in high school. Number 4. Fessick. The Nile River has always been the source of life in Egypt. Human life along its banks was made possible by its waters and predictable seasonal floods. But, in addition to bringing life, the Nile bestowed other presents, such as an annual bounty of rotting fish as the floodwaters receded every season. People eat the fish, also known as fessick or fisik, as a traditional accompaniment to Shem al-Nissim. Nobody likes it, however culture demands it. They no longer wait for rotting fish to appear, instead, they manually rot them. Currently, they ferment them, which is roughly equivalent to the same thing. The fish, a mullet, is sun-dried before being put in a saline water vat for a month and a half. While the salt prevents the fish from rotting, it remains raw. However, it also smells rotten and has a gooey feel under its gooey gray skin. Botulism is the issue here. The botulism bacteria will have a field day if there isn't enough salt or if any of the fish has started to rot, ruining everyone's spring festival. Botulism is a neurotoxin that induces muscle paralysis. It has signs that are close to those of a stroke. It has the ability to destroy you, but it is also treatable with an antitoxin. Oh, and botulism is often used to make people look younger by injecting it into their mouths. Botox is the name of the treatment. Number 3. Monkey brains. Variant Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease (VCJD), which is fatal, has been found in monkey brains. When infected, it takes about a year to die, but it's not a good year. Dementia, loss of muscle function, depression and anxiety, blindness, loss of the ability to talk and understand language, trouble swallowing, and constant pain are just a few of the symptoms. You may not have learned of the risks of eating monkey brains, but chances are you've heard of VCJD, which is linked to mad cow disease and belongs to the same family of transmissible spongiform encephalopathies. Exactly the same case. Consume contaminated animal parts, become ill, and die. There is no known treatment for this condition. It's impossible to stop it. There isn't much that can be done about it. Number 2. Fugu. In Japan, the pufferfish or blowfish is known as fugu, which translates to river pig. This pig, on the other hand, does not provide bacon, instead, it provides death. The fugu are rich in tetrodotoxin, a potent neurotoxin used to protect against predators in the wild and exact revenge on humans after they die. A pinhead's worth of tetrodotoxin, which is said to be 1,200 times more lethal than cyanide, is what it takes to get you kicked off the dinner table for good. Fugu kills about 100 people every year, with 60% of those who are exposed to it dying. A proper sushi chef should sample the fish before serving it to ensure that it has been prepared correctly, but you know exactly what's going on up until the neurotoxin kicks in and stops your heart and lungs from working, and you die anywhere from 20 minutes to a day after eating it. The lungs will be the first to fail you. You will asphyxiate and die unless you receive urgent respiratory assistance. Yeah, you would certainly perish and there is no cure. Number 1. Elderberries. The black elderberry shrub can be found growing wild all over the world, and it has a variety of medicinal and culinary uses in addition to making a lovely hedge. Wine, syrups, pies, preserves, and other extracts are made from its berries. Since the seeds, about half of each tiny berry as seed, contain a glycoside that causes cyanide, a deadly poison, it is always cooked before usage. These glycosides are destroyed by cooking, making the berry healthy to consume. If you consume enough raw elderberries, your body can produce a toxic buildup of cyanide. When the vomiting and diarrhea begins, you'll know it's happened. The majority of people recover reasonably well, although some cases of poisoning are especially serious. But because that's when the coma sets in, you won't notice. You're in luck. What do you think of our list? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.